Yay, it looks like the camera is rolling. I am Sedona. Namaste, everyone. I am here making this video to share with you my personal jewelry and adornment cleansing, clearing, and charging ritual that I do on new moons. I've been wanting to share this video for a couple of years now, and I was waiting for all of the right and perfect technical components to come into play, which they haven't quite yet, and I decided today I'm just going for it. I'm making it on my iPad. We have a new moon coming up this weekend, and I will be doing this ritual, and it's my honor and joy to share it with you. So, this ritual, it's very thorough. It takes 24 hours, and I begin on new moon night. Okay, so with new moon, we know it's a great time to rebirth. It's a time of new beginnings, of fresh starts. So in that way, I'm sort of giving all of my jewelry and adornment a fresh start. It's also the dark moon, the void, the mystery, that black absorptive frequency that draws forth. And so we're working with that as well, hoping and intending that anything stuck or sticky or icky or stagnated or heavy or low level can move itself out of our jewelry, so it is going to get a fresh, new, clear, and supercharged start into the next cycle. So I start on new moon and new moon night, and I will gather up all of my jewelry. This is all kind of a pseudo setup that I have, but I will talk you through the process. So I gather up all my jewelry, or at least all of the jewelry that I will be cleansing that night. And I'll come to my altar space, come into a sanctified space, burn some incense, light your candles, whatever is appropriate for you to drop into a ritual space. And I'll take all my jewelry and I'll lay it out on a black cloth. Now, I'm just doing this casually to start. The real drop-in and intention setting happens a little bit later. But I'll start by laying my jewelry out. It doesn't have to be in any particular order or way. Just lay it out on a black cloth. I will then take another black cloth and cover all of my jewelry. Then I take a wing or a feather. This happens to be a precious owl wing that was gifted to me by a beloved sister priestess. This is what I use, but whatever sort of fan or feather tool or instrument works for you, use that. Right out the gate, here we go. With our intention, I'm going to start patting the jewelry. Just getting it going, breaking up any stagnated energy, clearing it out, and just starting to create some space and some Shakti fire, some force that is actually going to clear the field and clear the jewelry. Now this can last for quite some time. Just right there doing it for whatever 10 seconds that I did it, stuff really starts to move and you can feel it. And this is what's cool. Our jewelry, especially jewelry that we're wearing every day, it's placed on a specific part of our body. It is absorbing all of the things that we are processing and accumulating energetically and emotionally. So by fact that we're working on our jewelry that lays against our bodies, we're working on ourselves too. So this can become pretty ecstatic. I have went into an altered trance-like state every single time I do it. I felt it coming on there. You can really get going and really get into it and follow your own guidance, follow your own feeling, follow your own flow until you feel a natural completion. And you're going to feel your energy centers start to open up and activate, and stuff really starts moving through. It's powerful. So after you come to a natural completion, then you are going to take all your jewelry, casual style. I just put it all in a basket or a bowl, and I go outside. I set my jewelry grid on new moon night outside. I love that. It's sort of like an etheric or energetic off-gassing of the jewelry, as well as getting closer to the new moon void energies. Of course, not all of us are living in a place where we can go and put our whole jewelry collection outside. Weather might not permit that, so adjust as feels right to you. I've lived in places where I didn't have an outside environment to do this in, and I just set it up at my altar or on my altar. But you're going to take your jewelry outside, and this is really awesome. This is where I really begin to focus and align my intentions. And I set a grid. I create a mandala of my jewelry. And it takes time, especially how much attention you pay to the details. But we have really cool stuff when we're working with our jewelry. All of these symmetrical geometries, long swirling wires and chains, and you can make something that's so magnificent and so beautiful and unique. So it's an artistic creation, a ritualistic artistic creation. And so I set my grid carefully, and I begin to really affirm what my jewelry is, that it is sacred adornment, adorning me as earth goddess, temple being in this world right now. I'm also intending that these are instruments, precious metals, precious gemstones, natural objects, bone, wood. These are all powerful tools that we're working with. And so I'm honoring my jewelry as that, and honoring myself and honoring the act and the art and the ritual of sacred adornment. And of course, intending that everything is clear and that it's coming into the highest frequency, the highest vibration, to act as an expression and an expansion of myself in this world. So I'm intending it as I set my beautiful grid. Once it is set, I bring in the water element for some cleansing. This is rose water charged with quartz. I love rose water. Rose being the living organism that resonates at the highest frequency of any other living organism. So rose water, whatever sacred, consecrated water you might like to use. And then say a blessing, say a prayer, and you leave it out overnight. Go out the next morning. I don't have to set an alarm. If it gets some sunshine on it, great. It might not even be outside depending on how you do it. But I go in the morning, and this is where you have to invest a little bit of it in your ritual. I have big bowls of salt that I use. I use these bamboo bowls, and I'll have my bowls of salt. I usually do a huge collection at one time. So I've had my salt. You can use sea salt. I use Epsom salts because it's just a little cheaper, and I feel like it still has that earth magnetism, which is what we're going for. So I go out with my bowls of salt, and I put all my jewelry in the salt, and you can feel that transmission, that transaction right away. It's the earth element again, drawing forth, magnetizing the energy in, and composting that and continuing to clear. So once I have it all in my salt bowls, I go and set it on my altar. And I leave it there all day. I, in general, have sterling silver, brass, gold, and gemstone jewelry. I've never had a problem leaving my jewelry all day in salt. If this is something that alarms you, then maybe check into any ritualistic contraindications. Make sure that that wouldn't harm your jewelry, or leave it in a less amount of time as you like. So I leave it in all day. And I do my thing, I go have my day, and then I come back to complete the ritual the next night. This is a powerful moment because now the moon is coming out from under her dark veil. So that there's that energy of coming out from under the veil, and there is that waxing energy, that growing in brilliance and brightness. So we're riding that as we come out, and I come out, I'll come out to my altar. I'll set it up with a candle and some sacred smoke, either sage or sweet grass. I'm right now using an amazing blend, my new Essence incense called Purification. Mind-blowing alchemy right here. New essence that's in you. So I'll come with my bowls, and then one by one, it takes a while, depending on your collection, piece by piece, I'll wave it over the fire element, really asking for that penetrative illumination, feeling that heat and that purification that the fire brings, moving through the molecules of your piece and charging it with brilliance and radiance. And then I'll move it through the sacred smoke as a blessing, bringing in that air element, and set it down. And one by one, you do this, again, feeling, intuiting how long it needs to be there, maybe saying your own blessings or prayers. Again, this is a beautiful time to look at this as a meditative, intentional, affirming process. So that is it. I complete all of my jewelry and then close with a prayer, close with some grounding. And your jewelry after this is, you will see new colors in your moonstones and your gemstones that have never been there before. People will start commenting on your jewelry. It really is a beautiful gift to do for yourself, for your jewelry, and I hope you enjoy it. Please share with me your experience. Please share with me your own processes, what you may like to add or omit. It's my honor, and happy new moon, beloveds. Enjoy this. Namaste.